Welcome back everyone to Zuma Fan, and since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, you know what that means? Ships. And of course, there's no better ships than in the Paw Patrol. So in this video, I'm going to go through all the ships, and I'm going to tell you which one I think are more than likely, more than possible, of becoming an actual romance. So let's dive in. Before we start, I just want to let everyone know that more than likely these are not romantic, but more than likely just brother and sister love. So with all that said, let's go. So the first one we have is Chase and Skye. And now this one is understandable because out of all the ships I'm going to be talking about, these two actually have more of the shipping moments than any other ship in the entire series. We have this going all the way back to season 1 where we see Chase really worry about Skye's safety as well as stealing some of her stuff to wear it, which I don't know if that has something to do with him having like a gender or identity problem, I don't know. We also had that big moment that everyone keeps calling back to in the episode Pups Say Friendship Day. We have Skye putting her head on Chase's chest as he looks very shocked that that's even happening. So out of all the ships in the entire series, these two actually have the most moments that you could say is technically more romantic than any others. I would agree that out of all the ships, these two actually have more romantic feel to the moments that they have together. You know, I don't really think that that is what's happening. More than likely that Chase is extremely worried about Skye because, as I said in the beginning, that these two are brothers and sisters technically because they are living together and they are kids. And so more than likely these two actually love each other on that level, not on a romantic level. Although out of all the moments, I wouldn't be shocked if in their older age that they are actually like in love romantically. That could be possible, and I'm not throwing out the idea because these two actually, like I said, have more moments of what you could interpret it as being romantic love than any other ship I'm going to be talking about in this video. So it is a possibility, so I'm not writing it out completely, but I still think that these two just love each other on a brother-sister kind of thing, so that's how I feel about it. Now for the next one, we have Zuma and Rocky. Now Zuma and Rocky, judging by the moments that they have, now they do spend some time together down by the beach in season 1 and a little bit in season 2, but we just don't really see them together anymore for me to say anything romantic is actually happening. For me, I feel that Rocky sees Zuma as, once again, just like a little brother technically. So he is going to the beach to hang out with Zuma as he would see as his brother, and I think that makes a lot more sense. We know that Zuma really likes water, likes staying chill, that kind of thing, and Rocky really hates water. He doesn't really like doing any of that stuff. So for him to be doing this, it really truly shows that Rocky does actually care. It just really comes down to, does he care about him romantically? And for me, there's not enough evidence in the entire show for me to come to that conclusion. So as I see them as more as just best friends and brothers than I actually do partners. The next one is Marshall and Everest. Now, I have no idea where anybody gets any of this shit from because these two only have like 3 lines together, so I don't understand why anyone would ever ship these two. I don't even know how much they actually care about each other, but they only have very small moments together, and none of which are anything big whatsoever. I don't think that Marshall or Everest have anything to do with each other, nor do they care, but that's basically how I feel about this ship. I really don't know why anyone ever says that they're romantically in love with each other. They just don't have enough moments to even support that idea. So for me personally, this one is 100% a dud. But the one I think that is more than possible, and I haven't seen enough people actually ship these two, which is Rubble and Everest. Now, we've seen Rubble and Everest interact before. Is it anything big? I'm not really sure. But we see that Rubble, out of all the other characters, really does care for Everest more than anybody else. Now, as far as all these moments go, we don't really get that much between these two. But when we do, it really does seem that Rubble really does actually care about her on a romantic level. Yeah, I think that Rubble and Everest actually have interactions that you could deem as romantic because these two aren't technically brother and sister because she's not like a part of family of the Paw Patrol. She doesn't live with them or anything like that. She lives with Jake. And many of the moments do show that Rubble does seem to care about her on a romantic level. So I think that that is more than likely possible than Marshall and Everest. So I feel that Rubble Everest is more than likely an actual ship than those two. Now, on another one, Everest and Tracker. Now, for this one, I think it's just not possible. Plus, they have a winter show. I believe it's the only time that these two ever spoke with each other, and that will be the only time that these two will ever speak to each other. And that's basically it. I think the reason why Everest seems to be so, like, as you could say, kind of interested in Tracker is more than likely because Tracker and her are the new ones, and they are just meeting each other for the very first time. So of course they're going to be interested in each other because they've never seen each other before, and they're technically the two new ones. So I think that's really about it on those two. Now those are all the ships I have gone through. Now I know that there are way more ships because everybody in a show gets shipped basically. There were too many of them for me to actually go through, so I only picked out the most famous ones, the ones that people focus on the very most, and so yeah, I gave my thoughts on it. So let's go from the worst ship to the best. So for the worst, the one that's more than likely not actually going to happen basically ever for me is going to be Marshall and Everest. These two are absolutely awful as an idea. They don't have enough interactions at all, and having 3 lines of dialogue between the two doesn't make it a relationship. Now, we all know which one's going to be at number 1, the one that's more than likely actually going to happen, which is Skye and Chase. Now, of course, as I said, all of these relationships are more than likely just seen as brother and sister, not actually as romantic partners or anything like that. But then again, you can't rule anything out until the show actually shows us them as adults and how they feel about each other then. But overall, those are my thoughts. So thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I'll see you later.